Well, hey Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explain. In this episode, we're continuing our look into Gundam Evolve. It's episode 15, I skipped 14, maybe I'll get back to that later, but 15, New Type Shalia Bull, is really a remake of episode 39 of the original TV show. Now, I say remake, but maybe just of the parts of Shalia Bull, and there's some cool designs we'll look at, but yeah, let's get into it. Now, it starts off very New Type heavy. This episode's really around Char, Lala, Giran to an extent, and Shalia Bull. And there's really just more of a discussion around what it feels like to be a new type and if someone is a new type. Now, blink and you'll miss it just because the CGI is really quick here, but also because it's from a DVD. The quality is horrible, so it's hard to make up stuff, but there's a new RX-78-2 design going on here. You can barely see it. Maybe as we get through more shots, you'll be able to see it. And for a while, what we're really looking at here are lasers firing while it's playing some pretty nice, chill, like piano music, but then we're just seeing lasers flying everywhere, and it goes on for a while. Now, this comes up to my favorite sequence in this Gundam Evolve episode, maybe even in all of them, although I think I say that. Although in Gundam in general, because what we're seeing here is laser fire at the white base as it's trying to avoid going through a meteor belt, asteroid belt. There's probably a name for that specifically here, but what's cool is you just the way they composed the movement of the white base throughout the asteroids and meteors and the lasers flying around, even seeing GMs being taken out. Yeah, there we go again. Very low quality stuff here, but you can see some GMs flying alongside the white base. They're getting taken out by the lasers. That's some really cool space sci-fi stuff. And then poor gun cannon gets its arm taken out. And again, it's hard to tell here, but I really do think there's some interesting designs that they're going with here, but you can't see it. Oh, we barely see the RX-78-2 kind of standing there watching the laser fire, and there's Amuro ghosting. He seems to be ghosting. That's kind of a thing going on here, where as he is battling, it's almost like a ghost version or spirit version of himself is doing the actions first, almost like guiding him, and I don't know if that's supposed to be representative of new type powers here. Again, you can barely tell, but we get a look at something here, and that is the Brow Bro. If you're not familiar, that is what Shalia Bull used in that episode to try to take out the Gundam. But in this version, it looks different. It has some strange red symbol-looking stuff all over it. I don't know. Interesting choice of design. Actually, here's a good look at it, but it still looks odd, the Gundam Evolve version. It's a weird look to it. I don't know if that was supposed to be maybe when it's, I guess, Psycho resonance is taking hold, and that's kind of the way it's supposed to look, or that's its paint job, or is that really a paint job or some lighting? I don't know. Very interesting little design decisions here for this remake. And so Shalia Bull, he's in the Brow Bro, not Frau Bro, but Brow Bro. Okay, that's confusing. And yeah, he's just talking about how it's almost impossible to fight this Gundam. That pilot is a true new type, and that's kind of like the discussion that was going on in that episode and in this episode, talking about 39 of the original. And actually, we'll get to that. We'll get to what was going on. Okay, we see some recreations of scenes in episode 39, Shalia Bull speaking to Giran. One thing that, is pretty sus is how Giran's all acting like, all the lives that are being lost. But really, he's wanting to use Shalia, because he could be a new type, as a spy under Shalia to see what Shalia's up to, see what Char's up to. So this is the 300th Autonomous Squadron. It's a new type core squadron underneath Shalia Zabi. Now, Char Azimuth was the captain of it, but it was kind of Shalia. If you take like all the Zabi kids, Giran being one, Shalia being the other, and they didn't really trust each other. So Giran was wanting to see what Shalia was up to. Formed late in the one-year war by Shalia Zabi, the new type corps was meant to evaluate the combat potential for new types. The unit was given to the command of Char Aznable and was stationed aboard a Zanzibar-class mobile cruiser, initially only including Char and Lala Soon. Shalia Bull was later sent by Giran Zabi to accompany the unit, both to test his abilities as well as to discover any hidden plots. During their tenure as a combat unit, they received several experiential, I think that's experimental mobile armors, the most notable being the MAN-08 Elmeth, used by Lala Soon, and the MAN-03 Brow Bro, used by Shalia Bull. Now, to tie that together, let's look at the Flanigan Institute. was sponsored by the Principality of Zeon, which was established in June of UC-0079 at Balder Bay Colony of Neutral Side 6, L4, Lagrange 4, to investigate new type phenomena. In addition to scientific research, the Flanigan Institute's work involves developing weapons for use by new types, recruiting new type test subjects, and training them to use their powers in battle. With the discovery of new types among the human population, the Principality of Zeon saw the potential of using these new types, many of them possessing precognition, enhanced intuition, and lightning-fast reflexes, as tools in their war against the Earth Federation. The Flanigan Institute was charged with the study of new type candidates and the development of new weapons capable of making use of new type abilities. The Institute completes a prototype psychic communicator, Psychomu, system on UC-0079 in October, and one notable member of the Institute, Celeste Moses, that name always gets me, was responsible for developing the exam system, if you're familiar with Blue Destiny. After the end of the one-year war, the Earth Federation forces and Neo-Zeon took over the research conducted by Flanigan Institute and developed specialized mobile suits and mobile armors. And what I think is cool about going into this, this was just based on why Shalia Bull would be put under Cassilia Zabi, and it's because he seemed like he was a new type, and Cassilia Zabi sort of ran the new type cores. And where did the new types come from? The Flanigan Institute, potentially. So we could see at what point during the war the Principality of Zeon was pushing this out when we saw both in Evolve and episode 39, they were talking about, the Earth Federation are using new types. They could have them out on the field. So it's almost like they were surprised the Earth Federation was doing that, but the Principality of Zeon was doing it as well. And I like the whole connection with other side stories, like the exam system here. It almost then makes sense when you hear about these side stories where there were these cyber new types or new type pilots used with a special system, because there was this institute run almost under Cassilia Zabi that was seeing what tests could be done to get the best sort of new type fighter to fight for the Principality of Zeon. Again, very similar to what was going on in episode 39, Mobile Suit Gundam, but Garen just telling Shalia Bull, I have all the files on you at your time with the Jupiter Energy Fleet, so he could tell, okay, he could be a new type. And now, some interesting stuff going on where, just like in the show, there's this scene where Shalia and Lala are near each other because Char's wanting to get a sense of their senses to see what he detects from them, because he is a new type, and he was able to determine Lala is a new type. He can feel her new type. He can feel her strength, her power. And just take note of the design of Char's uniform here. There's a lot more detail added. Less of a redesign and more like a remaster, if I'm going to use video game lingo here. It's pretty neat how it looks. And then we go back to the very blurry and hard to see DVD rip of Gundam Evolve here, where Shalia and the Bro is fighting Amuro. You can see more of the Gundam here. Still, it has that different look, but you can't really tell the design look here. But it's pretty neat that there was that other attempt to redesign things. For instance, Shalia Bull in the anime looks like just some normal grandpa dude. But we look at his design in Evolve, it's interesting. It almost makes him look like a child cosplaying as a grandpa, but also look at how much more design goes into the uniforms. It actually looks pretty neat. And so that is it. The ending is really awesome. It plays music from, I guess, the Gundam movie trilogy. It's done very well. I find it odd why this was remade or redone in Gundam Evolve design. Was it really just to show off more of Shalia Bull? Because I found episode 39 to have more interesting impact overall, especially when it came to how Lala was kind of using her like song to try to attract new types, because that's kind of like the whole new type thing. The gift is, they're able to attract each other with their brainwaves. Lala was singing a song that was like causing where they could locate where the enemy could be at, fire a laser. But it was attracting people too, which I thought was an interesting aspect of the new type phenomenon, which is not being explored here. I'm not too sure what they're trying to do with this episode of Gundam Evolve, although it was just kind of neat to see this stuff, even though it needs to be done in like high definition, a re-release, because this DVD transfer is just horrible. I bought the DVD on purpose so I can get the highest quality possible by ripping it onto my computer, but it's just already low quality anyway, so it's hard to see all those redesigns. Well, anyway, that's it for this episode, looking at episode 15 of Gundam Evolve, and really diving into that new type character, Shalia Bull, what his part was in the original One-Year War, where it was actually really important. This was up to where the new type cores were going up against Gundam itself, Amuro Ray, but to get there was all this discovering of new type abilities between Zeon and the Federation, even Shalia at one point talking about defending the people in space for the future, and then Char makes a comment, you mean all humanity. So it's even interesting in that dynamic to see where Char was and where Shalia as part of Principality of Zeon was. Anyway, I thought that was very interesting. Let me know below what you think of that episode, that character diving into more of the new type phenomenon and how it kind of dealt directly with the Zabi family ending the One-Year War because there was that backstabbing, they couldn't trust each other. A lot to unpack here. But anyway, guys, hope you found this enjoyable. Subscribe if you haven't, like the video, check the links in the description if you're interested in seeing ways you can support the channel, or even check out our Discord. We do have a lot of fun there, try to do build nights on Saturdays. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk later.